Soaring Without Limits Enterprises presents the Triple E Podcast, a show dedicated to empowering women to elevate, expand, and explore their mindsets. I am your host, Mon'nique Pearson, best-selling author, mindset coach, international speaker, and travelologist. Are you ready to transform your life? Join us monthly for inspiring stories and actionable tips so that you can soar without limits. Well, welcome everyone to the Triple E Podcast. I have the honor and pleasure to be your host, Mon'nique Pearson. And on the Triple E Podcast, we help women to elevate, expand, and explore their mindsets, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. We try to bring on a different array of guests to make sure we hit upon all those touch points, because we know that you're not a one-dimensional woman. So we want to make sure that we are giving you everything you need to enhance your life in those areas. And today is no exception. I have a phenomenal guest that I'm excited to chat with and get into it with on our episode today. So I'm going to go ahead and do her introduction and read her bio, and then we're going to bring her forward to the stage. So today we have the honor and pleasure to have with us Dr. Lena Payton Webb. She is a multi-award-winning publisher, an international speaker, a certified AI strategist, and retired U.S. Army veteran who helps authors, coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs transform their expertise into legacy as well as income. She is the founder and CEO of Blue Impressions, Publishing and Services, as the director of LitCon, which is a national and international literary conference that connects authors and publishers and industry leaders through symposiums, expos, and empowerment events. Under her leadership, LitCon has been hosted at prestigious venues such as Georgia Tech University, Florida A&M University, and the Community College of Philadelphia, amplifying voices from across the globe. Dr. Lena is the creative visionary behind Pages to Profits method and profits framework, which guide experts from blank page to published authority while building profitable, purpose-driven brands. With over 30 years in graphic design and more than 1,000, yes, y'all heard me right, 1,000 published authors under her direction, she's become the go-to strategist for turning words into wealth. Her company, Blue Impressions Publishing, is a multi-six-figure concept to creation powerhouse bridging creativity, AI innovation, as well as business strategy. Through her initiatives like AI for ACEs, which stands for authors, coaches, entrepreneurs, and speakers, she's empowering creatives to use technology not just to write, but to scale their message, automate their marketing, and maximize their impact. Dr. Lena's work, it has been featured on prestigious platforms such as CBS, NBC, Fox, Business Weekly, Disrupt Weekly, and Woman to Woman magazine, and she's a two-time Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award recipient for her service and leadership. While she's not publishing bestsellers or speaking on stages worldwide, Dr. Lena is inspiring her global community of creatives to turn their pain into purpose, their stories into systems, and their pages into profit. Because with her, publishing isn't just about books, it's about building legacy. Yes, so without further ado, let us welcome to the Triple E Podcast, Dr. Lena Webb. Hey, Dr. Lena.
Hey, Mon'nique, how are you? How are you today?
Wonderful. So super excited to have you on the show, and we can't wait to get a little bit more in depth and just have a wonderful conversation with you, because I know that the audience is going to be blessed. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm super excited to be here. Super excited to be here, and yeah, just talk to the people.
Yes, well, we are excited to have you. So we are not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight into it. I just read that you said you have guided over 1,000 authors from being taking that story outside of their head and being able to bring it into the pages. So I would like for you to share, because I'm sure there's many people who've had a story inside of them for years and have not making those steps in order to get it on paper and be able to share that story with the world. What do you believe are some mindset shifts that these people have to make in order for them to elevate from taking it from an idea in their head into putting that story on paper?
Ooh, that's a good one. So, all of us have experiences or expertise that we have, right? It's something that we've
Mm-hmm.
overcome or something that we've learned, something that we're passionate about. A lot of times it's the limited belief of nobody else wants to hear it, right? Or nobody,
Mm-hmm.
my story isn't good enough. Or they compare
Mm-hmm.
their story to somebody else's story when in fact their story is exactly that. Their story is your
Right.
journey, your experience, your expertise. And because it's yours, is unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that thing that you have that's within you that you're passionate about, somebody needs to hear it. Somebody's actually waiting on you to hear it. So we kind of get in our own way, just not knowing that our story matters. I think that's one of the big misconceptions, that not believing in our own story, not believing in our own worth, and valuing our voices.
Mm. So how do you help someone who feels like what you just said, like they feel like their story doesn't matter, so they don't feel like they can put it on paper? Is
Yeah.
there a way that you're able to help influence them in some type of ways to be able to say your story does matter? Someone is going to be blessed. Someone is waiting for you to be the breakthrough because of your testimony. Like how do you help them to get beyond that hurdle?
Yeah. So a lot of it is exactly that. I tell them clearly those words. But the one thing I that usually stands out when having a conversation like that is if the thing, the test or the trial or whatever it is that you went through, if
Mm-hmm.
somebody came to you and they said, I got a headache, and you said, oh, I got some aspirin, I'm gonna give you the aspirin, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
same difference. If I come to you and I say, I have a problem, and you say, well, I went through that and I have a solution, why wouldn't I give it to you? In the form of
Right.
right. Why wouldn't I share it? So just using examples like that, and usually that kind of gets people to think a different way. Like somebody really could benefit from what I know or what I've experienced, because I don't want them to go through it. Like some of the things I
Mm-hmm.
went through in life, and I'm sure you and the listeners have something that they can identify with that they like. I don't ever want anybody to ever have to go through that, by themselves, or I can help them with that. So why not give my expertise and my experience in the form of a book to help all the people that I possibly can. So the limiting beliefs can always show up in different ways, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes just sharing with them the impact that they could possibly have by sharing their words and their experience often gets them to shift into a different mindset. So we
Right.
always say too that somebody's googling what the same thing you got in your head in your heart.
Right.
Somebody's googling the answer right now, and you have it, and we're holding on to it. Sometimes
Mm.
selfish, for us to hold on to it, but unknowingly. But now that we know different, we know better. We should do a little better, right? Let's go ahead and share and help each other out.
Exactly. Well, that's a good example that you said with the aspirin. I like that. That make it real plain and
It
commonplace.
is.
Like
It
if you
is.
can help somebody and it's right there in your face and you got the tools, why wouldn't you? So
Yeah.
but I know some people are wondering, like, well, let's back it up, Mon'nique. How did you even get here? How did you even get to the point of starting Blue Impressions and knowing that this was a gift of yours to be able to help people bring their stories? Give us the backstory. How did you get to where you are today?
That's a loaded question. So for me, I was always that kid that loved words and art. Like you seen the kid that always walk around with a notebook like full of writings and doodles. That was me. I was just that kid. So I love words and art so much that I became a graphic designer. So I was like, I'm gonna go to school. I became a certified graphic designer. Did that for a long time. And although I had this passion for love and art, I went to college, and as an 18-year-old in college, I felt like I wasn't making enough money, right? Kids, we think, as younger adults, we think we're supposed to be making all the money, like all of it. So I
Right.
joined the military. So I took my gifts with me to the military. I would do stuff on the side, but the
Mm-hmm.
military was my main source of income. And I had the still had the gifts. I was still doing it. I was doing it like making certificates, awards, just still whatever I could do to use my gifts. I would still use them. However, after about 19 years in, the good Lord said, "Enough of that man's army." Like, and so He
Mm-hmm.
gave me the gift of cancer, AML leukemia to be exact. And in my fight with cancer, there was a day that I woke up in the hospital room and I blinked my eyes and nothing happened. I blinked again, still nothing happened. I blinked a third time, and this time I screamed for the nurse. I screamed for the nurse because I couldn't see. So the chemo treatment had taken my eyesight. So if you can imagine the distraught, the distress, the being scared, like what is life going to look like for me, and let alone, and then my family, and it was just, it was a dark period. Eventually they brought this specialist in because they had never seen anything like it, like what it just took your eyesight all completely. And they brought in this specialist, and he got it to where I could see this little mustard seed of light. And over a course of some time, I would just use that little mustard seed of light to try and retrain and refocus my eyes. And I used a coloring book to help me with my eyes. So it was a day at the hospital volunteer. She walks into my room and she sees me in this room every day, sitting in the dark. Because not only did I couldn't see, they hurt. Like they felt like sand was in my eyes. So I would sit in the dark. And she would come in, can I get you some water? Can I get you a book? Can I get you a coloring book? And, my first response was like, lady, my eyes hurt. I don't want to look at nothing, right? But I was like, let me get the water and let me get the coloring book. It was something about the possibility of being able to see the creativity of the coloring book that kind of resonated with me. So I would take the coloring book every day and look at it and had the only thought in mind if I could only see the lines on the page of the coloring book. Now, fast forward after months, I was legally blind for a period of 4 years. But what it showed me is the coloring book I had, it didn't represent me. It didn't connect with me. It was just a book at that point. So my coloring book had Barney, it had the Big Bird, it had the ABCs, all the things my little 2-year-old grandson would love to have access to. So after those 4 years, and it was like a deep depression. I was depressed because my military career it changed, it shifted to the trajectory. I hadn't planned on retiring after the 21 years. I thought I was going to be in forever, until they put me out, and they did put me out.
I know how they do, honey.
Yeah, they like you got to go. You can't see, you can't do, you got to go. Right. So they did put me out, but so after that long period of time, I would be reminded that I had the gifts and talents to create my own. So then I would start making books that looked like me, that represented me, that had a vibe like me, right? It was books that spoke to me. And so then God said, well, listen, now, that was cute. Now go out here and help other people. So that's how Blue Impressions came to pass, because I realized if I couldn't find books that represented me, my clients would have the same challenges. So that's what we do. We make books that connect to the people that you're called to serve. And that's our whole purpose in Blue Impressions.
Oh, well, first I want to say thank you for your service and all that you sacrifice for the country, and for your transparency and just sharing your experience. I know I was touched and just inspired, and I'll just like, to me, what that says is there is no excuses if you were able to overcome all that you have gone through as far as with your diagnosis with the leukemia and being able to lose your sight and still not letting that stop you from using the gifts that God has imparted into you. I pray that the listeners will see that and hear that as well, that there is always a will, there's always a way for you to be able to overcome. So I appreciate you sharing that. I'm sure that's going to inspire somebody. Like, the only limits that you have are the ones that you said earlier, that you impose on ourselves. So I know you also mentioned, like, in your pages to profits method, in your profits framework, that you help people turn those words into wealth. What advice would you give a woman who wanted to expand her influence and her income through storytelling or by becoming her own publishing company?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to that. So we started off just, public. We started off with ghost publishing and things like that, and helping other people write their words with ghostwriting. But for me, the first author I knew in real life was my dad. So my
Mm-hmm.
dad was a published author, but he worked for General Motors when we lived in Detroit. And he would go to work and he would go to church and he would take these books with him just as proud everywhere. But at the end of the day, the books didn't make him no money. So I would begin
Right.
after I got into the space of publishing. I was like, Lord, show me the way to help people not just have a book, but to create the impact that they desire, not just in money. When I say profit, it could be helping people, whatever it is. For him, it was
Mm-hmm.
ministry. How can they use their books not just to have it, but what do they do with it once that happens?
Mm-hmm.
So we came up with the P.R.O.F.I.T.S method, and one of the key things for authors or for people who are looking to write and to be profitable with their books is the key element is knowing who you're speaking to. Who is that book for? Like, who is it
Mm-hmm.
for? So, and then knowing who is for. If you know who is for when you write it, that's like half the battle. So most people
Right.
write and then try to figure that out. They write the book for them, right? We call it
Mm-hmm.
but people, they tell all the things that happen. They just dump all the stuff on the pages. It happened to me, so I got to tell it, right? So,
Right.
but they leave no kind of way to help the reader. There's no strategies in it. There's no way to overcome anything. It's just this what happened. This is what they did. This is how they did it, and that's it. It doesn't give any steps, any strategies, any help. So they kind of leave the readers bleeding, right? So you done poured all this
Mm.
stuff that happened to you, but with no
Right.
solution. So if you can solve a problem, give them the solution to your problem, and then position yourself to the people who need your book. You don't have to come looking for them because those are your people. They're gonna want what you
Mm.
have because that's the aspirin. They have the headache.
Mm.
You got the aspirin.
That's
So
what you
that's
got.
one of the biggest things that I always impart upon the people that we work with is remembering who you're writing, who is this book going to help, and how is it supposed to
Mm-hmm.
help
Mm. So there are some people who got past the mindset limitations. They were able to get the book written. They got the book out, and now there's crickets. What are some tips that you can share with those individuals? How that they can make sure that probably on the front end that their book gets out to those who
them?
need it.
Yeah, so that happens, right? So, and we get a lot of people who work with us after they've published their book because now they're like, okay, the people at church bought it, the people at work done bought it, my neighbor done bought it,
Hmm.
and now what am I supposed to do, Dr. Lena? There ain't nobody else buying this book, right?
Right.
So that's one of the parts of our framework is the positioning. Like where are you positioning your book? Where are you showing up so that the people can find you? Us just posting it or listing it on Amazon that's nice, but where are they? Or you have to be intentional on where you show up for your readers because they're looking for you. They're clearly looking for you, but you got to show up for them. So showing up in some kind of capacity, finding them, finding where they are, and positioning yourself so that they know that you have a solution to their problem is really key in the success of your book.
Hmm. Mm. So let's get into LitCon, because that's how I actually came
Yes,
across and let you come into LitCon
sure.
Philly. So can you let the people know what LitCon is and expound on that and what it represents?
Yeah, so LitCon is our literary events that we host for authors, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs to show up and show out and showcase their work, right? So it's a family fun environment. We do it all around the country. This year, well, in 2026, we're taking it international for the first international LitCon. So we're excited
Oh,
about
awesome.
that. We are
Congratulations.
excited about. We're going to Dubai, so we're gonna do it big the first time because everything else, right after that, it's gonna be rinse and repeat. So, but yeah, so we're going there in 2026. But what it is people who work with us, they're like, okay, well, it is part of our framework too. You got to show up.
Hmm.
Right, you got to show up and be the expert that you are in the field of the thing that you experience. So it's one way to just have them show up. So they get to show up, they get to speak about the thing that they're passionate about or that they want to help other people with. And so it's a way for them to be able to showcase their expertise. And then for the community aspect, the community gets to come in. They get to learn about writing. They get to hear all these phenomenal speakers and get to meet all the authors and ask questions like why you write that way, and just interact. And it's a really good high energy. I call it a family reunion with books. Right.
So
It's not
when is
like,
the next family reunion with books?
so
And,
we have a
and our
virtual.
listeners, how can they find one? How can they find you? And then if they want to participate and learn more about LitCon,
Yeah.
share with us how they can do that.
So you can find me on all social media platforms, but Blue Impressions Publishing, that's it. Blue without the E, you can find me everywhere. Just everywhere. And if you find me, you're going to find LitCon.
Okay. Wonderful. When's the next LitCon event so people can be ready for it?
December 6th, we have a virtual holiday empowerment one that we do every December. So December 6th virtually. And then after that, we'll be in Maryland in March.
Okay.
And then Dubai in May.
Wow.
And so, listen, we invite all the cousins. So just come on and show up, follow us, and learn more. Stay connected. If you are an author, we would love to see you. Come on, you're already family, right? So just come on amongst the rest of us and just jump on in, and we'd love to just see you there and love on you and support you as well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make sure I'll drop in the show notes as far as how you can get in contact with Dr. Webb and those who are interested in coming to support or participate in LitCon so that you can have the information for that too. So, Dr. Webb, what has been the most fulfilling part for you of creating these spaces where authors and thought leaders can collaborate and grow together?
The most fulfilling part for me is when somebody realizes that it's more than just a book. All right. The books, it's a stepping stone to either their mission in life, their purpose, or even a ministry. They thought they were writing a book, and they get so much more, right? so much more. And realizing the impact that their words and the things that may have caused them heartbreak or maybe some trauma or something at one time, but now it's their testimony, and now they're able to share that with other people. That it was worth. Yeah. So just seeing that transformation for people is rewarding in itself. It is.
I love that. But you also said too that it isn't just about the books. You've been saying that throughout our talk here, and it's about building legacy. So what does legacy mean to you personally?
The legacy for me, every day to me, I try and leave some kind of legacy or some kind of imprint on what the world will look like after I leave. After facing a traumatic experience like cancer was one thing. That was a whole battle in itself. But losing the gifts of my eyesight, not just treasuring every day. When I'm going, what is it that they're going to say? I know Lena from that. She, what is that thing they're going to say they remember me for, right? So that is what legacy is for me. Like my grandson, I just know he probably going to be like, she was a wacky grandmother. She was like one of a kind. So I know he probably going to have stories to tell and big shoes to fill. But that's what legacy is for me. And that thing that is the things that I've written will be able to help him later on, right? He'll be able to use that, benefit from the things we've curated and developed as long as he needs to. So it'll be here long after I will. So that's what legacy is. Our words are here long after we are. So we've had I've had one client, she actually passed away while in the process, at the end of the process of publishing her book. She was dealing with some health challenges, wrote a book. She was part of a collaboration book, passed away in that, and her family has that now, so she's able to, she left that for them, not even knowing that we didn't know that was going to happen, right? But it was a relief, or it was kind of, it made us feel good knowing that we were part of that, her journey, and her family now has that. She's gone, but they have that to hold on to. So it's just being a part of something bigger.
Bigger than yourself, and that's an imprint and departing gift to be able to leave. As you said, the words are going to stand the test of time. So we also learned that you're a 2-time Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Congrats.
That was something that was an experience. I think that the first one was like, oh shucks, like, oh wow, and then the second one came out, I was like, I must be really doing some. Sometimes we stay so focused on, especially
Mm-hmm.
uh me as a veteran, we get so focused on the mission. Like my mission is, I'm going to help you, so that's the mission. Let me help you, right? So we sometimes we
Right.
don't look back on all the things we actually did and be like, oh, you really did that thing, girl. We just don't. I just don't do
Yeah,
that.
you
Most
just keep it moving.
we
I
just keep.
get you because you were like, all right, check that box. Let's move on to the next one. And then you got to actually pause to reflect and take
Exactly.
some time to give yourself your own flowers sometimes because I
Yeah.
think we get so caught up in next, 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 next.
Yeah.
So I feel you because I know I'm guilty of that of times
Yeah.
too.
It's hard. It's hard. But I'm learning. I'm learning.
Yeah. So, what would you share are some of those habits or principles that has been the key for you to sustaining excellence and walking in your purpose over these years?
Ooh. A couple of the main things that stand out to me is as being key factors is knowing my why. Like, why am I doing this? It's not me. It's bigger than me. It's so that it helps you or the next person that's listening to me or the person that's I'm called to help
Mm-hmm.
have them help make more impact, right? To the people that they're called to serve. The thing we make for you or the ways we help you, it doesn't just help you, it helps you to reach more people. So we make the thing and then
Right.
you go out and spread it, right? Like butter, right? It just keeps spreading. So it just remembering that if I can get this done or if I can help a person in this way, the impact, what that's going to look like, how many people that's going to help. That right there just
Mm-hmm.
keeps me going. And it keeps me up at night. So it's like because I'm like, if somebody comes to you with a problem and you can fix it, you be like, just give me a minute, let me think and figure that thing out.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, we are coming to a close of our time. So I have one last part of question for you. So for those women who are listening and they have a story inside of them, but they feel overwhelmed, they feel underqualified to share it. What's the first small step that they can take today to begin transforming those pages into profit and their stories into impact?
The first small step they can do today is go to pagestoprofits.com. Go to pagestoprofits.com and connect with me. That's the only thing they need to do. After that, the rest is done. It is done. So we have a 2 day and a 3 day process where we can get it out and done. And and we do all the heavy lifting. But that's the main thing you can do. Outside of that, if you don't want to connect with me, connect with somebody who can assist you in that process. Because at the end of the day, the thing that's keeping that you think that's stuck in you that you don't want to share, that's the thing that somebody needs to hear. Somebody
Mm,
needs to hear it. And sometimes it
mhm.
just takes somebody else to help you along that journey. So yeah.
Well, we thank you so much. I know you have was going to pack a punch in this 30 minutes. But before we leave, is there anything, upcoming events, or anything that you want to plug and let people know to be on the lookout that's coming in the near future for you?
Yeah, so they can connect with us at the pagestoprofits.com and we'll send them all the update information with the LitCons, with the virtual LitCon coming up as well, and then our free master classes that we have going on. So if they need help with that, then we can definitely
Hmm.
be able to serve them in that capacity as well.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Dr. Webb, for sharing with
Thank
us,
you
for
for having me.
inspiring us. And I want y'all to get out there and get those books, get those stories out there because somebody's breakthrough is waiting on your testimony.
They are.
So, Triple E listeners, make sure that y'all hit that subscription button, subscribe so that you don't miss out on our next enlightening, empowering, and inspiring episode. Till then, we'll see you soon.